All right, and we are back. That certainly is some music. That certainly is some music. So, my friends, welcome back to Echo. This is on the Game Boy Advance, part of the Sega Smash Pack. This is my least favorite video game. I'm on the last level. I've been here for, I think, 15 hours. We're going to see if things go better tonight. I had a couple attempts that went pretty well. I didn't get super close to beating it, but I got closer. So I have a considerable degree of probably false hope. Angelus said goodnight. Thank you again for the raid, Angelus. Always appreciate you, my friend. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Good luck with your stream tomorrow. No one tell him he's muted. I hope not. I don't think I am. This time it looks like I'm all right. Welcome back. Thank you, Title. When they say Smash Pack, I assume they mean against a wall, Conga says. You'd probably, you'd get more of your money's worth doing that. Oh, it's rough. It's rough. Echo is a bad game to begin with. I knew going in that the Game Boy Advance version was going to be a nightmare. I'd secretly hoped that my prior experience with finishing the Genesis version would be helpful here. I don't think that's turned out to be the case. Oh, Board Jams, welcome in. Hope you are doing well. We're having a wonderful evening. Imagine a RiffTrax game mod with the jank clips of bad video games. I can't really say I'm specifically familiar with RiffTrax. I kind of know what it is, but it's not something I've ever watched. But I think it's kind of like Mystery Science Theater. It's kind of a similar concept, right? I haven't really ever watched that either, aside from a few clips here and there. I know people really enjoy it. It's like What the Dub. That one I don't think I know what that is. Tuesday, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. What the Dub is like RiffTrax. Well, that was my assumption. Oh, but these are these actual games? Like there's a game based on Rift Tracks? Because Rift Tracks is like a show, right? Oh, back in the machine. When you're in the other level, the stomach things aren't really so bad. This is where it's bad. This is why it's bad. The machine here is just, it's this forever long auto scroller with a just a mercilessly brutal camera crunch situation. And even if I make it through, I just get sent back to the beginning every time I die to the boss. So, I played through this on the Genesis, and I was stuck on this stage for 21 hours. And like I said, I've been stuck on this stage in this version for about 15, so I may lapse into silence quite a bit. I apologize, for not offering any brutal commentary. I apologize for not offering a whole lot of meaningful commentary to distract from the brutal unpleasantness of this experience. But I've spent a lot of time here, and I just it becomes increasingly difficult to think of new ways to say I am not enjoying myself. The silence is broken up by his tears, Konga says. It's all I've got. It's all I've got to relieve us from, to distract us from, the pain of this game. That's what I gotta tell myself, right? Don't focus on the game, Frownie. Focus on your tears. The other night there was a bit of we were talking a bit about, you know, some of the unpleasant things, like during the fog of being lost in a game like this, when I'm hopeless and miserable. Sometimes, you know, the fury overtakes me, and I will wish very unpleasant things upon the game developers who I hold responsible for putting me in this situation. There was a little bit of talk about that the other night with such examples as I think we said, I hope the developers of this game get stuck in traffic, which was a real example, paraphrased. And then one I don't think I've ever used, I think StatCat suggested it though, was I hope the game developers accidentally go too fast down a water slide and it scares them a little bit. And I don't think I properly reflected on that in the moment, but Jelly brought it up while we were in the car. She had seen that comment, and she brought it up again today while we were in the car, and we had a pretty good laugh about it. So I feel a little bit bad. I feel like I didn't give it its due in the moment, but it became funnier the longer I thought about it. But it also just made me think, like, I mean, there have been a couple situations. I don't really like water parks, but there have been a couple situations where I've gone on like those like inner tube slides before, and like the ones that are not like full circles. Like I've been on a couple of those that are just kind of like half circles where they're open to the air, and I've gone around corners where like I was certain I was a goner. Like, I don't know. I don't understand how people don't go flipping out of those slides to their doom all the time. Because, like, now, granted, I never have actually fallen out of one, but I've come what felt so very close to it. Those things are, there's something else. I'm convinced if you play this for a few more hours, Konga says, you're going to blurt out the meaning of life. You're tapping into the universe. There was I had a conversation with someone else that was kind of along those lines. That, like, maybe the hidden value of playing, like, terrible video games that no one ever plays is, like, when you subject yourself to these experiences that like no one else has ever gone through, like perhaps the benefit could be that it causes you to think in new ways, and so who knows, maybe by playing, you know, a terrible video game, it will cause you to think in unique ways that no one ever has, and you can come up with solutions to some of these problems that have plagued humanity throughout the ages. And we never knew that the secret to world hunger lie behind, like, Let's Ride Dreamer on the Game Boy Advance or whatever. I had a conversation with someone about that very idea, about terrible video games opening your mind. I'm not relaying it well, but it's funny that you landed on a similar thought there. It's okay, StatCat says. Genius takes time to appreciate. It did. If you disappear in a puff of logic, we'll know what happened, Konga says. Long time ago in a video game far forgotten. How many years have you streamed now, Frownie? I think we're at 2.5 years. I think it'll be 3 years in February. February 25th, I think, is the anniversary of the stream, and it started in 21. First game we played was Ghosts and Goblins on the NES. I don't know why I started with that instead of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I think I was more confident I would beat Ghosts and Goblins. Maybe, or maybe it was that I thought, well, if something horrible goes wrong during the stream, at least I won't have wasted my debut playthrough of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. No. I think the first 3 games were Ghosts and Goblins, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection, I think is how the stream started. That was sort of what, like, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection coming out is, like, part of, like, what got me to settle on a timing and, like, settle on a date to actually start the stream. I was like, well, I should play that game, and I should capture my first playthrough on the stream. And I thought, well, I should start a little bit before it and do some of the classic ones. So... Echo, the final frontier. These are the voyages of Agent Frownie. It's 2.5-year mission to explore strange old games, to seek out old games and old challenges, to boldly go where no man will ever go again. That was lame. Please ban me. I like it. You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out with lame jokes. lame jokes aren't the road to a ban around here. They're the road to becoming a mod. The truth, Conga says. I promise to never joke again. That'll put the fear into you. Beats the water slide. That was good, by the way. That boss attempt, like it didn't. It might not have looked like it. I mean, I might be deluding myself too, but I feel like that boss attempt was good. Anytime. I mean, it did. It turned bad real quick. But anytime I'm able to remove the eyes of the boss and have, like, you know, 3 pieces of health left, like, that's a good position to be in. Right, because we have to remove both the eyes, then we have to start attacking the jaw, and you have to remove the jaw 3 times. Not hit it 3 times. You have to hit it way more than that. You have to remove it 3 times. It breaks off after so many hits, but it grows back at least twice. And I've been able to get down to the 3rd jaw. Last time we played, I got to the 3rd jaw a couple times. And if I get that, if I break off all the jaws, the last phase I think will go pretty smoothly. Well, I don't think I'm going to get it first try, but I feel the final phase is to punch him in the head and zap the enemies that come out of his head every time you hit him. I feel like that's going to go more smoothly than the breaking the jaw part. I really hope it does. Because if I get that far into the fight and lose it several times, my heart is not going to be able to take it. That part right there is the most disgusting part. I mean, everybody can probably say it with me by now, but the screen crunch is so bad that you have to swim completely out of the view of the camera to move around an obstacle that you never get to see properly. It's never, that passageway over there never appears on screen. You just have to know it's over there or just figure it out by blindly swimming off the edge of the screen. Which, mind you, the edge of the screen is what most often kills you. So why would you want to be anywhere near it? Well, because after a while you learn that this game is a disaster. And sometimes the thing that you're certain is what kills you is the only way to make progress. No, I attacked at the exact wrong time, but how was I supposed to know? You can't see anything. No! Oh, life is bad. That's what I have to do 3 times, by the way. Breaking that jaw off like that. That's 1. I have no health left. And you know what that means. No health means no hope. Awful. Awful way to end it with that. Oh, that was a bad... I tried to... should never do that. Try to attack at a diagonal. I shouldn't have done that. I just want to be done with this nightmare of a game. So we did a partial playthrough of the game Survival Kids, and plan to go back to it and play some more, because there's 8 endings in that game, and I think I unlocked 3 of them. It's I'm kind of in a bad situation with that game, because the ending I got most recently came at the end of a huge amount of work in progress, where I was progressing toward a completely different ending. That's a ton of work, but then I accidentally triggered a different one instead, and so all my progress was lost. And so, like, that put me in a situation where it's like, well, I really want to take a break from this game, because that was a lot to do and a lot of progress to lose. But the thing about that is, taking a break from the game means that I don't remember all the steps it took to make all that progress. So when I play it again, I'm going to have to be reinventing the wheel in a lot of ways. So I kind of knew I was doing that to myself, but, you know, that's sort of the situation I put myself in. And I mean, it's a fun game, so, like, relearning stuff about it won't be that bad, but it's going to be the situation where, like, because, like, you can make some pretty catastrophic errors in that game and really lock yourself out of meaningful progress. And there's a couple places where, like, I'm just pretty sure I got lucky. And I don't know if I can count on that to happen again. But anyway, the thing that I'm thinking about is, so for that game, we had to play on emulation for that game on the Wii. But now I've got the GBA flash card, so when we play it again, we could play it on the GameCube, which I think would be a better experience. But I don't know if I can bring my save file over from the Wii to the GBA flash card. I imagine I can. I don't know, I've never thought about it before. I guess what I don't know is, like, if all emulators handle their, like, save files in the same way with, like, the same file types or whatever. I imagine they must, because they're all emulating the same hardware, right? So they must be. But I don't know. The technical stuff that I always think is compatible never is, right? So, hey, Stream Kyle, welcome in. Thank you for the pistachios. Very much appreciated. I could definitely use a little snack. I'm gonna save that until I die, and when we're on the continue screen, I'll enjoy a little treat. I learned they have Scorch and Pringles now. Not as hot as the name implies, though. I think I've had those, actually. I think I tried those. And yeah, I don't recall them being super crazy hot. Oh no, I forgot to hang on, let me just throw this life away. I forgot to have my pistachios. I should do that. The hot ones, Pringles, are pretty good. Those I don't think I've seen. I do enjoy a Pringle from time to time. they made a chili lime Pringles that I remember thinking was pretty good. I haven't had it in a good while, so I'm not 100% sure if they still make it. They're cheese ones and sour cream and onion ones at the store near you. I'm gonna have one more pistachio. Those are really good. Ooh, I'm gonna have one of them from the bottom of the bowl. There's no shell. It's a free pistachio. I didn't even have to work for it. Jelly likes the cheese Pringles. I tend to go for the chili lime. I used to like the they have a pizza flavor. I used to like that. I don't know. I haven't had it in a while. I don't know. I mean, I imagine I would still like it, but it's been a very long time since I last tried them. Of course, I like just the regular plain, salt-flavored Pringles, too. I used to like the cheddar and sour cream Ruffles chips. I used to get those a lot, but I've kind of lost my taste for those a little bit. They're another one though. I haven't tried them in a long time. Maybe they would be. Maybe if I tried some of them, like maybe it would reignite that taste for them I once had. But after a while, I don't know. Maybe I got burnt out on them. I just started not to like them so much. But it has been a good long while. So. Maybe next time I have an opportunity, I'll give one a try. Like original with cheese dip is pretty good. Pringles. I never really dip Pringles. I just always kind of have them just as they are. My dad likes to make French onion dip for dipping chips, usually for just plain Ruffles. That's a pretty good treat from time to time. Another thing, it's been a while since I've tried. For the hot variety, there are a lot of general flavor. Oh yeah, that makes sense. There are spicy cheddar and spicy sour cream and onion. Wait a minute. I don't think I've ever come across that combination. No. Do you see how fast that thing drained my health? That's what it's like to have no iframes. I had full health. In one millisecond of an enemy overlapping me. Now I'm stuck in a death spiral because the checkpoint has saved Echo. The checkpoint saves Echo moving in a direction, so you have to fight your respawn momentum, and sometimes it spawns Echo driving himself into a place where he's gonna get pinched and die immediately, and that's the situation I'm at now. Like, I can't, like, you know, I'm holding left or right, like I'm going back and forth, and he won't turn because he's got that forward momentum before it gives you control of the character. Oh, I hate this game so much. There is no joy in this game. Everything about this game is just terrible. We have to restart the level because the checkpoint saved me in too bogus of a situation. Life is bad. Not sure what they taste like. I got the scorching cheese ones not long ago because they were marked down. Like 80 cents. Apparently people weren't buying them. The scorching cheese is a combination I can wrap my head around, but I've never thought of scorching sour cream and onion. I mean, I'd probably give it a try. I never thought of, like, spicy lemon pepper chicken wings either before, though. And, like, I guess it makes sense, right? Lemon, like, you know, just like I said, I like chili lime Pringles, like, you know, like a citrus and a spice together. And they're pretty. Apparently, they're like a spicy lemon pepper is a pretty common thing. It's kind of one of those things that, like, some people like me really like it, and some people find it repulsive. But I don't think I ever would have thought to make a spice like a spicy lemon pepper seasoning, and it can actually be quite good. So yeah, why not spicy sour cream and onion? I guess that's not that weird either, because you know, people put sour cream on, like, you know, like Tex-Mex food which also is frequently spicy. So, and frequently has onions in it. So yeah, why not? I'm terrified to eat real sour cream. It's one of the many foods of which I'm too afraid to eat it. But I'll eat a sour cream and onion flavored chip. There's no consistency. I would eat broken glass before I would eat ranch dressing, but I'll eat a ranch flavored Dorito. I don't know what's wrong with me. Only had lemon pepper chicken once. I'd try a spicy variety. Yeah, I love good lemon pepper seasoning. By itself, there was I had spicy lemon pepper chicken wings. There was a restaurant in Houston called Pluckers, and it's like a sports bar type thing, like a Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't know if it's a chain or like its own thing, or it's a big, like, I don't know. I've only ever come across the one iteration of it, but it could be a national chain, and I just don't know. But anyway, there was a chicken wings place called Pluckers in Houston, and we would get wings from there, and they had a spicy lemon pepper flavor, and that's the only place that I've gotten it from that I've really loved it. Like, I've tried a few other places that do it, and it's been pretty good, but I haven't loved it the way I loved it from there. I enjoyed their food quite a bit, though. We would get hot wings from there. Not super often, but a couple times a year. Chicken wings are like a fun novelty food, but they're so expensive. I'm not super observant, so I frequently, like, I'll see her, like, I'm never really sure if a restaurant is an independent restaurant or a chain. I see restaurants all the time, and I'm like, that I assume are like standalone, and it turns out they've got like tons of them everywhere, and I've never seen a commercial for it, so I just or noticed one before, so I just assume it's unique. Someone was complaining yesterday about how chicken wings used to be cheap, but now they're a whole popular thing, so they're not. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever thought of them as being a particularly cheap food, but I wouldn't be the best person. Like, I wouldn't be the person to know. I do kind of... I do think that I would believe, though, that their price has inflated somewhat, at least. I don't know. I feel like they've always been popular, but maybe not popular in the same way. Because I think of them like chicken wings are like one of those like classic like sports foods, right? Don't people haven't people eaten chicken wings while watching sports since time immemorial? I guess they have a wider appeal than just sports fans now, perhaps. Pluckers is a Texas chain. That makes sense, because I think I actually remember there being more than one in the Houston area. My favorite place to get pizza in my town is this little mom and pop shop called Pizza Hut. If you're ever in the area, you can try it out for yourself. I actually changed the chain I was going to mention midway through that sentence because at first I was going to say Sbarro, but I think they don't exist anymore, right? I don't know. I can't think of the last time I saw a Sbarro, but I also can't think of the last time I was in a mall. Hey, Thrifty, welcome in. Why GBA? Well, I beat the Genesis game last year, and I didn't know that GBA 1 existed until recently. And then when I saw it, I said to myself, wow, Ecco the Dolphin on the Genesis was the worst experience of my life. Why don't I try it again in an even more terrible version? That was horrible. Let's do it again, even worse. Sega CD all the way. I might have to do the Sega CD version. I mean, I don't expect it to be any different from the Genesis version, except better audio quality, probably. But I don't know. I imagine I've got to play through all the Echoes at some point. Like I feel like it's just part of my destiny. Probably possible the person posting was really old. In my life, they've always been popular, though. Kyle says, "Yeah, and yeah. I mean, it could be like, yeah, I might not be thinking about it from a long enough time period." Several in big cities and some random ones in other towns for pluckers. Right on. I definitely enjoyed the one that we went to in Houston. I mean, I didn't enjoy going there because I don't really like a sports bar type environment. It's too loud and crowded for me. But I like getting takeaway. I like getting their takeaway. There are FMV cutscenes. Wow. I've heard that if you have a good Genesis flash cart, you can do Sega CD games on it. So that's probably the route I'm gonna have to take for that. So it's probably gonna be a while, but yeah, I know there's a Game Gear version, Sega CD. If they have something different about them, I'll probably check them out. Like, I don't think I need to play every port of the Genesis version, because I know it's been ported in a couple collections, but I think the Genesis version has been ported a couple times in collections, but I think it's fundamentally identical. I wanted to play the GBA one because I knew it would be a different experience because of, if nothing else, the screen crunch. Yeah, I think any version that has something different about it, I'm gonna have to conquer at some point. And I will do it kicking and screaming and crying the whole way through, just like these playthroughs. Mega Drive, Mega CD, 32X. Only Texas-specific chain I tried when I was there was Whataburger, and I like that. Whataburger is alright. Is that my favorite? It might have been the particular one that was near us. Wasn't as good though. The thing I remember about them that's the silliest thing is if you order a burger from Whataburger, you have to ask for it plain and dry. You have to remember to add that and dry, because if you order a plain burger, they will still put mustard on it. They're the only place on the planet that operates like that. And I don't know, I guess they like wasting food, because every time a new customer comes in, they're not gonna know that. I mean, I guess people probably don't order burgers plain as much as I do anyway, but it just seems like you're setting yourself up to waste someone's order every time. Feels like a booby trap. No! The first hit there didn't count! That wasn't good on that jaw? I think the jaws sometimes take a slightly inconsistent amount of hits, because I feel like it took 3 one time, and maybe an attack from a different distance does a slightly different amount of damage. This no visibility situation is consistently infuriating. No! I do not recommend playing this game with one eye tied behind your back. That almost went really bad. I got greedy. No! No! we had it. That should have been it. Oh, life is agony. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. I should have seen I was gonna go over him. I shouldn't have angled down. It's been a rough night, my friends. Aladdin treated me poorly. Echo's treating me poorly. We're not done. That kind of statement sounds like I'm wrapping up. I'm not. I'm gonna keep going. Thank you for the hydrate, Conga. I definitely appreciate having y'all here and keeping me company during these dark times. It means so much. Birth is pain, life is pain, death is pain. I feel those words etched onto my heart when I play this. It's like that, it's like that scene in Harry Potter where he has to write with that ink pen that carves the words on the back of his hand. I must not tell lies. When I play Ecco the Dolphin, like every moment I spend playing this, it etches a scar into my heart that says birth is pain, life is pain, death is pain. Whoever does my autopsy one day is going to be really curious about how that writing got in there. I know that, like I know other people, I mean, I don't know. I've never seen a playthrough of Ecco the Dolphin that has gone as badly as my playthroughs have. I haven't seen a lot of playthroughs of Ecco the Dolphin, but I've seen a couple people give it a try, and they certainly managed to solve this last level way faster than I did. Alright, a few hours of grinding maybe, but not these like extreme double digits like I get into, and so I don't even know how I got stuck where I got, and I don't know where I am. Oh my goodness. That was weird. I feel like I need to reflect on the things about me as a video game player that... What, like... I guess it's just because I'm not careful. I don't... Because I play too recklessly. I think that's why, part of why I'm so uniquely bad at Echo. I always order plain. It's weird when people ask if you want the cheese when you order a plain cheeseburger. Yeah, that's happened a time or two. And it's not super common. For me, I don't feel like I've had a lot of people do that. But yeah, it is. I mean, I get their line of thinking. Like, if you order something plain, then you're kind of a picky eater that doesn't want any toppings, and cheese is a topping. But when it is specified cheeseburger in the title, right, versus plain hamburger, it is a little bit of a weird question. I can see why it happens, but that doesn't make it not weird. I keep completely losing track of Echo now for whatever reason. Like, I feel like I've lost object permanence. Echo goes a little bit off screen for a moment. I just have no idea which direction I need to press to get him back. What? When I get Echo and... Well, I want to say, when I get Echo and Contra off the schedule, like, when I finally clear these games, I really need to stack the deck and schedule and keep the schedule filled with some games I'm gonna like for a while, is what I want to say. But, like, here's the thing, like, I put the Aladdin challenge on the schedule because I liked that game, and then it betrayed me. So, and I actually scheduled Contra because I thought I was gonna like it, So Contra Advance kind of betrayed me a little bit too, but I didn't. I like Contra 3 way less than I like Aladdin, so that betrayal didn't sting quite the same way. Oh, nice. We have a raid coming in. Demiurgy, thank you for the raid. Very happy to have you here. I'm kind of in the eye of the storm at the moment. I'm going to be a little bit rude if you could bear with me. I am very happy to have you here, and I'd like to welcome everyone in properly. Thank you for coming along, Raiders. I hope you've had a wonderful stream, and please tell us what you were doing. I can take a moment to read now. I died. I'm having a rough night. I'm having a rough night. I was hoping for Aladdin, but Echo is cool too. Echo is miserable. Echo is crushing me. We played Aladdin earlier. I'm sorry you missed it. The first 4 hours were Aladdin. It's Super NES Aladdin I've been working on. I really like that game. I've been trying to solve the 100% run of Aladdin. I've been trying to figure it out blind, how to get all the collectibles in the game, and I'm 2 away from perfection. I know how to get every collectible in the game except for 2. One of them I can't find, so I just have no idea where it is. And one of them I can find, but I can't collect it. So I've struggled with it. I've worked on it for about 8 hours, but almost all of the time has been devoted to 2 collectibles. The others all came really easily, so I don't know what is wrong with me and why I can't get these 2 collectibles, but I've worked on it for 2 nights. I'm gonna give it a third next week. We're gonna work on it probably for about 4 more hours. If I can't get those 2 after the third session, I'm probably gonna have to break the glass for in case of emergency, break glass and ask the chat to help me out. But for now, I'm still trying to do it blind, but my hope is dwindling. I really like that game, though. I really like it. And this is Ecco. This is Ecco the Dolphin on the Game Boy Advance. It is all the misery of the Sega Genesis Ecco, with additional screen crunch and basically all the music ripped out. The little 10-second loop you hear playing now is the only music in this entire game for this version of Ecco. The music in Ecco was one of was one of its best qualities, and they have thrown that in the trash. I don't know. I've been stuck on my Genesis playthrough of this. I was stuck on this level. Welcome to the Machine. I was stuck on it for 21 hours. And I'm up to, I think, 16 and a half for the Game Boy Advance version. I got real close, though. I almost beat the boss a couple of attempts back. I got down to I made it to the last phase of the boss. I almost beat it. So that's not actually a reason to be hopeful. That doesn't really mean anything, but I'm gonna pretend it does and try to hang in there. Let me see what you're doing. You're speedrunning Soldiers of Fortune on the SNES. Had our first finished run and crushed the world record. First run? GG. Demiurge. That is amazing. I don't even know the game Soldiers of Fortune, though. What kind of game is it? World record is incredible. Hats off to you. That's very impressive. I don't think, like, I like to try and do a challenge. I don't think I'll ever approach a world record in anything except maybe the world record worst time for Ecco the Dolphin. Very impressive. Blind runs always get my respect. I use Nintendo Power usually. If it's in the power, it's good. That's not a terrible idea. I mean, it's not really, it's not exactly, we all have the ways that we like to do things, and I definitely don't think that the way that I do things is optimal. I like the idea of having Nintendo Power at the ready. I actually have a pretty nice collection of Nintendo Power magazines. It's nowhere near complete, but I have an odd, like, 100, 150 of them, something like that. Mostly the older ones, but there's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of missing issues, but I have a fairly nice collection of it. I've thought about, it could be fun to, like, think of a way to, like, incorporate stuff from that into the stream, but it doesn't work with my insanely stubborn, super blind approach to anything, sadly. To everything, sadly. I mean, maybe on replays, because I do replay games from time to time. It was Chaos Engine on the Amiga. Speedran that. Figured I'd try the other versions. Alright. So you did have a little bit of experience going in, but still, that only converts over so much, right? I've already mapped out the run on Amiga, so I had a better route. Just have to learn the execution on the SNES. Browsing the virtual Nintendo Power on stream, right on. Yeah. I never had a Nintendo Power subscription when I was real young. I did for a little while around the time of the release of the GameCube. Someone gifted me a Nintendo Power subscription. So I had it in that time frame, but basically all the really old issues I have are things I collected way later. So I don't have a lot of the like childhood memories for it, but I do like. It's a lot of fun sometimes to flip through it and I've discovered games I never heard about before, flipping through it and like, ooh, add that to my pickup list. That's how I ended up adding Crystalis to my collection. Was I never knew about it. I lived in Houston when Hurricane Harvey happened, and so I spent like a week or so trapped in my apartment with no air conditioning and no power. It was miserable. But so I spent a lot of my time. Playing Dr. Mario on my Game Boy and reading old Nintendo Power issues during that time, though. That's when I learned about Crystalis for the first time. I bought it way back then, and we finally played it for the first time on the stream. a while ago. I really like that game. It's got a couple things about it that I wish were different, but it's a really cool game. Let's see. I'm struggling with the controller. Hard to be precise on a D-pad. I'm a keyboard player. The D-pad is like... The D-pad is my only hope. I'm pretty woefully terrible at keyboard controls. I'm kind of the opposite. I definitely believe that, like, you know, keyboard controls are, like, I definitely believe they would be more precise. I could imagine it being, you know, for the better if I were to adapt to them, but I don't think I've got it in me to ever do so. Only had a couple issues of Nintendo Power. One of my cousin had a subscription to Nintendo Power. I don't really remember reading a lot of his issues, but I know he had the, and actually, you know what? I take it back. He might not have even had a subscription, but I know he had the 100th issue of Nintendo Power because I remember reading that one. He either lent or gave that one to me at some point. I imagine he just lent it to me, because I don't think I still have it, which I would if he gave it to me. There wouldn't have been any reason I would have gotten rid of it. So he lent that, he must have lent that one to me at some point, because I remember reading it and reading through it several times. Their list of the 100 best Nintendo games. I must have read through that 100 times. And yet I'm sure if you asked me about 70% of the games on that list, I'd probably tell you I've never heard of that one. Only had like 2 or 3. One of them had the moves from Mortal Kombat 2. That one I read to shreds. I haven't used a computer for retro stuff since the NES. It was joystick or keyboard for Amiga, then the keyboard for DOS stuff. Yeah, I would have used. I always used the joystick for Commodore 64 games. But once I got the NES and I switched to the to the D-pad, it's always really been D-pad for me since. Even with the when I go back to the Commodore games now with the C64 Mini, that gives you the option to use a gamepad with a D-pad on it, and I use that instead of the joystick that came with the Mini. That I want, like, on the one hand, like, I want to cling to the authenticity factor of using a joystick to play those kind of games, but on the other hand, I just can't do it. I have thought, though, for the Atari, if I could find the exact kind of joystick that I had with the C64, I thought I might buy one of those for when we play Atari games on the stream. Because I think it would be way more comfortable for me than the Atari joysticks are. And it'd be a little bit more authentic to the time period than using the Genesis controller. So I've thought about that. I've looked at them a couple times online, and they're not hard to get. The joystick I had specifically, it was a joystick called the Point Master. It was just it was a very, very simple, stripped down, sort of like aviation style joystick, but it only had one button. It had a big red button on the top, and that was it. It was as basic as it could be, but it lives well, fondly remembered in my memory. So I've thought about picking one of those up. I bought the full set of Nintendo Powers off eBay years ago, Konga says. Oh, I'm jealous, Konga. That is something that would be fun to have to have the gaps in my collection filled in. I think that opportunity is way beyond me now, though. My thumb has no endurance with D-pads. It's sore right now. I wonder if anyone makes a 9-pin to USB converter. I wonder if I bought one of those. I wonder if I bought one of those old Point Master joysticks. I wonder if there'd be a converter that would let me plug it into the USB port on the C64 Mini. I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things I need to do with it, though. Alright, because I wouldn't have any of the menu buttons. Maybe that's a dream for another day. I think it's a funny idea, though. To go through all the trouble to plug an antique joystick into an emulation box. Full collection was between $100 and $150. Oh my goodness. That sounds to be, I mean, that's such an insanely good deal. Some of the maps are missing. Even so, even with a lot of, you know, the bonus things being missing. I'd still go for that. In a heartbeat. This was around 07 when NES was much less collectible. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever even used eBay at that point myself. Maybe. Actually, I might have, because I bought a guitar off eBay. It might have been around that time. Somewhere I have boxes of NES carts because the game store was selling them for 10 cents a piece. Conga says. All right. Well, I've never found a deal on NES that good. They just wanted them gone. That's I mean, I know you could like, you know, I used to get games like what I thought was pretty dirt cheap. 10 cents a cart is 10 cents a cart is pretty amazing. It's sickening, isn't it? Yeah, I've never gotten quite that kind of deal. You can still find good deals from people who don't want them. Sometimes it's a lot more rare. I mean, I don't. That kind of deal, I still wouldn't have hope for. But you know, I still go around, you know, thrift shopping and going to yard sales and stuff like that. And I still find something from time to time, but it's pretty rare that, you know, that I find a truly good deal. No! That wasn't a great attempt, but it was pretty good for a while. Best deal I ever got on a console? I got a GameCube for $1 one time. That's probably the best deal I ever got on a console. It's hard to beat $1, right? Probably the second best. I got a PlayStation 2 for $5 once. Although, to be fair, I've never tested that PS2, and it didn't come with the cords. I already had the cords, so I was just like, eh. But I never bothered to test it out, so it might not even work. So it might not be a very good deal. A non-working PS2 is basically a paperweight for me. But assuming it actually works, I got one of those for $5 one time, minus the cords. The GameCube had the cords and a controller and everything. No games, but that was alright. But that was just someone end of the day at a yard sale just getting rid of everything. And I guess it was around the time the Wii was out, so no one cared about a GameCube anymore. Best deal I ever got on a game was Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut for $4. Which I didn't know that was a rare and collectible game when I bought it. And clearly neither did the bookstore that sold it to me. I got a Dreamcast for $5 because the garage sale thought it was a CD player. Nice. I mean, technically, it does play CDs, right? I don't tend to have, I don't feel like I have a whole lot of, like, specific memories where I found, like, oh, this one, like, super rare and valuable item for super cheap. Like, I know a lot of this stuff, like, you know, like, I've got a lot of, like, duplicate consoles in my collection and a handful of, like, duplicate games that, like, I know I got for a few dollars, but I couldn't tell you, like, I don't remember, like, exactly how much. Like, I've got a couple duplicate N64 games that I know I got for like $3 a piece, and you know, some of them are pretty good titles. Not like super rare, but you know, like Banjo-Kazooie, Majora's Mask, like, you know, good titles. And I know a lot of my backup consoles that I purchased were like $5 and $10 for like SNES, Genesis, stuff like that. I have a lot of Genesis. I have a lot of Genesis consoles. I've got, like, I think 4 Genesises. I think I've got 1 Model 1 and 3 Model 2s. Because there was a stretch of time where I was just finding dirt cheap Genesis consoles just back to back. I don't tend to hang on to a lot of duplicates in my collection. I've got a couple duplicate games. They're usually by accident or extreme convenience. I used to have more. Like, for a while, like, you know, like I had like 4 copies of Star Fox 64, and you know, still, I pile up a lot of copies of the same thing. I don't really do that anymore. I tend to just keep one of everything, or if it's something that I really like, then I'll hang on to 2 typically. But extra consoles, I do tend to hoard extra consoles. I'm more worried about developing a problem with a console than a game, and that probably doesn't make sense, but I feel like it's more vital to have the backup for the console than the game. That's amazing. Kyle, I heard this. Kyle says, I recently heard this remix. That's alright. Going to the mouth. Sorry, the stomach is not bad. I recently heard this remix of the Buck Bumble theme. That's the Buck Bumble theme mashed up with Super Mario World. It was called Super Buck World. That's amazing, because sometimes when Jelly and I are watching something that has the Super Mario World theme in it, one or the other of us will start to sing Biggity Buck Bumble over top of the Mario World theme. So it's great that someone else has mashed those up. Because we do that, Jelly and I do that all the time. We're gonna have to listen to that. Almost looked like the password was trying to spell out rocket belt. I posted in the Discord. Thank you, thank you. That'll be fun to check out. If anyone's lurking, if you've never heard the theme to Buck Bumble on the N64, you should go look it up right now. It's one of the greatest video game theme songs. It's one of the greatest theme songs. It's fantastic. I love the Buck Bumble theme. I've never played the game. I've thought about buying it before just because of the theme song. I've definitely looked it up a time or two. Just never pulled the trigger. No, please stop hurting me. Because your vision is your field of vision is so narrow. Like, you really have to play this by feel. A lot of times, like, I'm trying... I'm trying to tell whether or not the boss is doing his attack by the way it feels to control Echo. Because you could feel the pull on him sometimes when the boss is off screen, but it's not, it's not as one-to-one a sensation as using an actual visual or audio cue. Like, why can't the boss make a noise when he does his attack? Like, the feel of the character's movement is like, it's kind of a ephemeral kind of thing. It's I'm gonna miss the comfy music after you finish the game. Persephone, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us tonight, and as always, I hope you are doing all right. It's a wrestling podcast that used the theme. In some segments they did. So then some wrestlers posted a video of themselves in the car between shows, jamming to it as they drove. Fantastic. If you finish the game, maybe I'll get to hear it for the next couple years. That's not unrealistic. What are we at? I've lost track of time. I think we're at 17 hours. I've got 5 hours left if I want to set a new PB in this game. That was weird. Do you see how Echo was like vibrating around like that? That was crazy. I got close on one attempt tonight. I made it into the final phase of the boss fight. It felt for a moment like it might be possible to do this. It didn't happen, but you know, obviously. But I did think for a brief time there was a chance. I've been mashing the button a bit too fast. If only there were a checkpoint at this boss. Whatever you do, if you play Echo, play it with save states. It's not worth it to go through this over and over and over again. Is it a legitimate victory? No, I don't really think so. Does it matter? Definitely not. Come on, take me to the stomach, please. Oh, thank goodness. So if I were to suggest a save state, I don't know, like, I don't know if I could make save states. I don't know how. I mean, I'm not going to, but... So it's probably best that I just don't even know how, but... We are on, why I'm doubtful. We are on real hardware, but I am using a flash card tonight. So that's why I say I might be able to make a save state, even though you normally can't on real hardware. There might, because it's a flash card, there might be a way to do it, but I don't know what that is. Oh, please don't get me. Hey, Subject Omega, how are you? Well, I hope. Welcome to the stream. Seems thoughtful. Doing good, that's great to hear. I don't know what version of Echo I'm going to play next after this. I mean, it's going to be at least a year before I play another Echo game. I don't know what the one that's going to be, but I really hope it's easier than this. I am really amazed I didn't... Well, I'm dead. There was a moment where I was really amazed I didn't die for a second. What an interesting maze. Yeah, I spoke too soon. Hey, Itty, welcome in. This is the first I've seen of any GBA Echo. Is that true? You haven't been here for any of the GBA Echo? That's amazing. I feel like I've been doing it so much. I'm glad you got to witness the horror. Still scarred from the Genesis Echo attempts. This is not going much better. The machine took 21 hours on the Genesis, and I'm up to 17 now on the GBA. I've had a couple fairly decent attempts at the boss. I had one, I actually made it to the last phase of the battle. So, I had one attempt that was really close. And then, of course, I blundered. I tripped at the finish line. It's so bad. It's so bad on the GBA. This screen crunch is unreal. There are parts of this maze where you have to swim off screen around obstacles that are never shown because they're cropped out from the screen crunch. They didn't care. They did nothing to optimize the camera movement for the smaller space. They didn't care. They just left it all like it was. Heartlessness is shocking. I've seen very little since you moved to the East Coast time zones. Yeah, I know it's been, it doesn't line up so much anymore. And I only get to see you at the, usually the tail end of a stream, sometimes the very beginning of one. Go for about 30 more minutes. It's like 6:30 for me right now. Getting close to that. Around 7, I'm gonna have to think about wrapping up. I definitely have to be done by 8. I don't really expect to go that close, but Jelly is supposed to take the first shift with the puppy in the morning. She should be getting up around 7 to take care of the morning activities and breakfast, getting that started. But she's gonna need me to take over by 8, so I've got a somewhat firm deadline there. But I'd like to be done. I should probably wrap closer to 7 myself, too, so I can lend her a hand. Just popping in before you have to drive your wife to work and stuff, usually, yeah. certainly, can in no way begrudge you for having things to do. I'm almost tempted to say if I don't finish this tonight, I might play a little bit of it tomorrow. Right? I know we've got C64 and we're definitely gonna do it. I'm not gonna play this instead, but I may have to make time to play it again tomorrow because I feel like I'm getting close now. Oh no, Conga doesn't like to hear that. Yeah, maybe I'll try and start the stream. Maybe if I can start the stream like super early or something, then I'll do I'll get a little bit of echo out of the system so C64 can be an uninterrupted treat. I feel like I've done so well. I mean, ideally, I would just finish it this next attempt and be done with it and get it out of here, but I can only hope for so much. No one had better ever port Ecco the Dolphin to the C64. If someone makes a C64 port of Ecco the Dolphin, I'll never play a Commodore game again. It will taint the entire library. Rafnir, welcome in. Trying to push Ecco the Dolphin up the hill, that's what it feels like. Let's go, boss. I need to be consumed. I lost too much health. Send me to the stomach to be reborn. Contacts homebrew dev friends. It's all a lie. You know I'd be the first one. If someone released that, if someone released Echo C64, everyone knows I'd be the first person to play it. I wouldn't, see, the thing is, I wouldn't swear off the C64 because of the reason I previously stated. The thing is, I would commit myself to beating Echo on the C64 before I played any other games from its library, and that's the problem, is they would then be, the rest of the C64 library would be trapped for all eternity behind the unbeatable port of Echo. I feel like what started off as an attempt at a joke has just turned into me cruelly taking out my frustrations on Conga. I think I owe you a personal apology. I shouldn't risk speaking such a nightmare situation into existence. The mod badge carries with it certain responsibilities. Oh my goodness, how in the world? How in the world did I manage to remove that jaw without losing my life there? I mean, I really don't expect I'm gonna hang in here with this fight, but that is pretty wild. I would never have ever guessed that it would be possible to knock a jaw off mid-attack and come out alive! What was that? I did not swim in that diagonal direction. How am I dead? How am I dead? Why did that hurt me? I don't understand. I attacked the boss. Ah. Everything in life is bad. How are you supposed to dodge those projectiles? They cover every corner of the screen. Yeah, if you attack in a like swimming, if you're swimming around the boss in a clockwise for the right eye, well, it doesn't really matter. Either way, if you're swimming in a circular motion around the boss and you time your attacks right, you should be able to swim around without the projectiles landing on you. But it's such a hassle with these controls that I just don't bother. My philosophy is just tank the hits from those projectiles, and I mean, it's been like it kind of works. I mean, it means I have to be extremely careful in the second and third phase, because I am sacrificing at least 2 chunks of my health. If I lose only 2 chunks of my health, that's not the worst situation to be in. But if I lose more than that, then I'm just hanging on by a thread. Well, if I lose 2 chunks of health, I'm hanging on by a thread with 3 left. If I lose more than 3 or more, I'm hanging on by the ghost of a thread. The shadow of a thread. The memory of a thread. But anyway, yeah, they are avoidable if you swim around the right way, but it's too much work, and it poses other risks of spawning enemies at the roof or running into gas balls that come in from the sides. So yeah, just gonna tank the damage and hope for the best. I really did feel robbed by that death, though. Like, I know I didn't have any health left in the tank, so 1 hit should have killed me, but I don't think what happened should have counted as a hit against me. I charged into the enemy. It's not right. I shouldn't be made to endure this. I can't find the right height. That's fine. I'm never upset. I'm never upset about going to the stomach. If I'm gonna lose a life, if I'm gonna die, as long as I'm going to the stomach, I don't care. If the boss is on his last hit, if the boss is one hit away from the grave and I get sent to the stomach, so be it. No worries. I can handle the stomach all day long. No. It's fine. I don't know how he got such a strong, like, pull on me, but again, whatever. Like I said before, never gonna complain about coming here. Hey, Guri Soma, welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you for coming along. Pleasure to have you here. How was your stream? What'd you do tonight? Thank you for the shout out, Conga, but there's a mistype there. Yeah. What were you up to, Gurisoma? How did your stream go? It's that game. Oh, I always stumble over the pronunciation of that. Atelier. Atelier? I've been corrected on it so much. I hope it treated you well. I hope it treated you better. I've had a rough night. I've had a rough night with my games tonight. Aladdin was grinding my bones to powder, and Echo added water to reconstitute them, just so it could break them all over again. I've had a couple attempts at I've had a couple attempts at that have gone pretty well at the boss. A couple attempts at the boss that have gone pretty well, but victory still feels kind of far away, sadly. Atelier, thank you. Someday, I'll remember it. I won't, but I'm trying. But I will claim to continue to try. But I'm glad to hear you had a good stream, a chill time. Things have been fairly relaxed tonight. A little weird. Things in chat got a little weird for a while, but we're all doing okay. Aladdin's super fun, right? It's the Super Nintendo Aladdin. I love that game, but I'm trying to do it 100%, and I'm trying to figure it out blind, and I can do everything but 2 collectibles. There are 2 collectibles that are just crushing me. So, like, despite that game being an amazing game that I really love, I'm not having a lot of fun with it because I'm so frustrated by something that should be so simple not being. And then Echo is just, Echo is never not frustrating. Hey, thank you for the stretch break. Let me continue on just a little longer. We'll do that at the next, continue screen. Or actually, I think I can hang out here and we can stretch here. I think I should be safe. I'm always a little scared to just rest and stretch because I just never know when some enemy is gonna just swoop in out of nowhere and erase my health. Some enemy that never existed before. Remember playing it when I was younger? Do you remember? Do you mean you remember playing Aladdin or Echo? I'm getting sleepy. I'm wearing down. Gonna get some foodstuffs and hit the restroom right on. We're going to be around a little while yet. Hopefully we'll still be here when you get back. But find something delicious. If something does happen, I'll just say once more, thank you again for the raid. Oh. I barged in and immediately lost a piece of health. So back to the stomach we go. Using the wrong button. My mind's getting foggy. I don't want to quit. I don't want to give up. I just want to finish and be done with the game. And get out of here forever. I don't know what malevolent spirit possessed me and filled me with the madness to play this game again. I need Luigi to vacuum this ghost out of my home so we don't wind up here. Another time. What? Why? How? I don't understand what happened. Oh my goodness, I do understand what happened, and it's terrible. I don't think I ever realized that before. The charge, the sonar interrupts the charge. If you go to do a charge, and you can cut it off with the sonar. I don't think I ever knew that. Oh, that's terrible. So I need to be very careful. Because see, what I was doing was I know I have to charge and then immediately fire. So I was doing both attacks. I was doing them both back very close, back to back. Oh my goodness. Well, I learned a thing. Probably too late to help us tonight. I hope I remember it. That's 3 times tonight I've made it to the last phase of the fight. Wait a moment. It just occurred to me. This has nothing to do with anything. But I was just thinking about, like, fossil fuels are, you know, like oil and gas and whatnot. They're made from... I don't know anything about science. Fossil fuels are made from, like, ancient animals, like the dinosaurs, right? Like being, like, compressed under layers of rock. So, does that... my question then is, like, are motor oil and gasoline, are those mostly plants but some animal matter? Okay, so it's mostly plants. But what that made me wonder then is, so are gasoline and motor oil, are they organic substances? I mean, probably not, right? Like a petrified bone is, like, not really organic anymore, right? It's become a rock. Or is it? I don't know. It's unrefined, it kind of is. That's interesting. I've never really thought about that before. I was thinking of that dinosaur. Like, Cows posted a picture of a dinosaur in the Discord, and, you know, said something about how the Chicago airport has a dinosaur, but also the Denver one does too, apparently. And I was thinking, well, what if all airports have dinosaurs? And I was thinking, well, if fossil fuels come from dinosaurs, then the jet fuel is technically a dinosaur hidden at the airport, right? It was organic. Now it's just kind of a slurry without DNA. This is the kind of nonsense. This is the kind of nonsense that goes on in my mind when I'm sitting here playing Echo on an endless loop. I begin to question whether or not jet fuel counts as a hidden dinosaur at the airport. It was true. It was true. You do start to think about thoughts that no one ever thought when you play games that no one bothers to play. So if they remade the movie Jurassic Park, they couldn't have a scene where John Hammond explains that they recreated the dinosaurs by extracting their DNA from gasoline. There goes my elevator pitch. It's about as realistic as extracting it from bugs. Would that mean airplanes are allowing pets on board? I think it's an emotional support Triceratops. Emotional support Triceratops. Great band name, Frownie. EST. Technically, T-Rex could fly. I believe something's happening upstairs. What? Whoa, hang on, did I move this? You can move these? Why in the world would I want to move this? That's odd. I cannot for the life of me understand what purpose moving that might serve. Is there a secret alternate ending to Echo? If I move that thing to a particular spot, will the game end without me having to fight that alien head? I'll never know. My stomach is rumbling. Oh, I'm stuck in a stomach and I'm so hungry. Probably just a palette swap. I don't know, if I see anywhere that looks like it's a place to take that, I'm gonna do it. If I see anything that looks like it says, like, insert random octagon here, we're gonna give it a try. I don't recall seeing anything like that, though, so. Unless the point is to bring it right there, but it probably couldn't fit through this. Oh no, there's another one right there, so that can't be it. Why does that look like an exit up there? I get sent back here again. Maybe I'll try that. See about that other exit. Oh, that's probably not an exit, because these other spots aren't. That's just a fake. There are other fake exits, so that's not as intriguing as I thought. Why? I could accept when an eyeball does 1 square of damage, but I really hate when they do 2. Back to the machine we go. This is not gonna happen tonight. I think I'm gonna give it one more try, but I have failed you yet again, my friends. Next time we get sent back to the machine, I think we call it a night. $18. I'm at 18 hours in the machine. Tonight is already gone. It's tomorrow. Don't remind me. I would echo 500 miles, and I would echo 500 more. This game is terrible. Everything about this game is terrible. That's all I can say about it. Why? Oh, why do you have to do this awful, terrible, no good level every single time you die? Pain and suffering. More pain and more suffering. So tomorrow night, my friends, Commodore 64. Slim chance we may also play some Echo. We'll see. If I start the stream really early, we might start with some Echo, or we may do it at the end of tomorrow night's stream if I move through the games that I have planned really quickly. Planning on playing Street Beat, which we've actually played before, but I didn't complete a loop of it, so I'm going to give that another try. We're going to try Beachhead 2, be a first time to try that. Pitfall 1, I'm going to play a little bit more. I played that before, didn't really beat it, don't really know if there is I don't know a lot about Pitfall 1, I'm still figuring that one out. I'm going to look at it again. And probably Pitfall 2 as well. Plan on playing all 4 of those if they work. Commodore 64 night always comes with an asterisk next to it because I have a lot of technical problems with the C64 Mini. But that's my intent. If all of those work like they should. If not, I might sub in some other random C64 game. Maybe something new or a revisit of something we haven't finished. Ghostbusters is always a strong candidate for that. C64 game I haven't finished when I need to fill in a gap. Right, the stomach. We continue a little bit more. Yeah. C64 games and troubleshooting stream. Sleepy Subject Omega says, see you next time. But thank you for being here. I hope that you sleep well. Have a wonderful tomorrow. We will see you another time, I hope. The game actually looks really boring. I can't say enough bad things about this game. If it's a negative adjective, you have my permission to apply it to this game. That'd be my back of the box quote. Agent Frownie says, I cannot think of enough bad things to say about this game. Hey, thank you, Conga. Yeah, if you want to send that to me, send me a link. I have a resource that I typically turn to. I think for all of these, I think for all the titles I want to try tomorrow, I think I have tape files of all of them that work. So I think the odds of a successful night are high. But yeah, backups very much appreciated. I'm not pointlessly giving this up. It looks like it, but I am trying to be sent to the stomach. The back of the box just says insert negative comments here. I love it. Conga, that is the same resource that I use. Yeah, they I grab those. Yeah, I try and grab games from there. The problem is sometimes, like, sometimes I'll go through not a whole list, because sometimes there's just tons, but I'll go through a whole bunch of them. Sometimes just none of them will work with the mini, and I can't explain why. They should, but I have pretty high hopes. Fine, it's one thing if I as a viewer would consider the game dull, however the game, it's not only objectively bad, but you keep playing it despite not enjoying yourself. Such as Frownie. Yeah, I mean, that basically, like, describes half the stream. At least half the games we play on the stream are stuff that I insist on continuing to play while clearly not enjoying myself. It wasn't supposed to be like this, though. I wasn't supposed to hate so much of the current schedule. I put things on it that I mean, Echo I knew I was gonna hate, but I thought it was just gonna be one game, and everything else was gonna be stuff I liked, and then I got stabbed in the back by some titles I thought I could depend on. I'm just up way too high. Get it together, Frownie. Come on. One moment, my friends. I hate this game. I hate this game so much. It's such a miserable experience. I'm gonna make one more attempt. I know I said I was gonna be done. I'm gonna make one more attempt. Jelly just checked in with me. That's why I had to step away a moment, and it sounds like she's got things under control with the puppy, so. I'm gonna give it one more go. She says the puppy successfully managed to take care of his business outside again this morning, so. Very good. We took him outside for like a bunch of short walks, like several times yesterday, and just couldn't get him to go, so we were. I mean, not like there's anything you can do to get him to, right? But he just never did. And we're like, oh no, this is not good. But now he's 2 for 2, so. This is he's starting an admirable win streak. Those enemies that keep spawning near the top of the boss arena are really just making me regret every life decision I've ever made. Clearly, I've made an incalculable series of mistakes that I've wound up in a position where something so horrible can happen to me at any moment. to the stomach. I need a nap, title says. I don't blame you. I need to go back to the stomach, because that enemy... those enemies from the top of the screen. I hate them so much. In a sea, in the vast, endless ocean that is Ecco the Dolphin. Ecco the Dolphin is the vast, endless ocean of things I hate. And those enemies that spawn from the top are the great polar ice caps. They're the loathsome cherry on the top of the things I hate sundae. No, don't get pulled in. No. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Oh. Oh. Oh, I think it's over. Oh. I think it's finally over. Oh. I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say. I just... What? Wait a minute. What happened? I think I pushed the wrong button. It's not over. What's going on? Is there no ending to this game? Did I do the wrong thing? Why? What happened? Why did I end up here? What happened? Someone explain to me. You beat it as far as I'm concerned, Konga says. It said the last fight and reset the boss. It did. When you get that last fight password, that's supposed to be the end of the game. I didn't write down what that password was. I mean, I don't know if they... I don't know if I did something wrong or if they removed the ending from the game. I pressed A. Was that a mistake? Was I supposed to press start? I don't even know. I don't even know what's happened here. I didn't get that password. I don't want to cut the VOD to look at it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, my friends. I may have to... I mean, I will allow for... I will open the floor if someone has information about what happened there. I mean, it did show a password. It didn't start to show it. It did show it. Let me... Fine. You know what? This is... I want to be done. You think you know what the password was, Itty? Alright, let's see if I can reset here. I'll see if that was it. I mean, that looks close to right. I mean, it looks as close as, like, it looks like what, basically what my memory is. Easy to remember. Very bad, horribly bad level. I mean, I just legitimately don't know if I did something wrong. I mean, clearly we beat it. We got the password. It only gives you that when you beat it. So clearly we beat it, but I just don't understand if they took the ending out or if I did something wrong to cause it to not play. I would be open if anyone knows Or if anyone wants to take a look to see, like, if there is no ending or if I did something wrong, I would be okay with being told that. Because... Well done, Eddie. On getting that password down. Because, like, the thing is, like, they took out all the music, right? So maybe they took out the ending too. Whatever it may have been for the, like, I don't even remember. I don't even remember what the ending of the Genesis game was like, so I remember we got that password. Semi-photographic memory. This means no more machine. Yeah, no way. I don't have to do the machine. I don't have to ever do the machine again because the game gave me a password. The stomach, I don't mind running through the stomach. But I just can't believe, like, I very carefully and very intentionally pressed the A button. I can't believe that pressing A on the final password would cheat you out of the ending. If there was one, and send you back to the boss. Like, I don't understand the reason for that. Maybe in this version, horror of horrors, maybe in this version you actually are required to defeat it twice. And maybe the last fight is a separate level. But even if it is, like, I mean, I didn't get here from the password, I got here from the stomach now, so... I can't imagine it would be like that, though. That... On the one hand, I can't put anything by this game. Like, every horrible thing that could possibly be is with this game. So, you know, if you can imagine it, it's a possibility, no matter how horrible. But alright, look, we defeated it again. There it goes. Last fight. I think there's just no ending. Yeah, so the start button does nothing. B button takes you back in. There's no ending, that's it. Yay, I beat it twice. They didn't think anyone would beat this. That's so... I've gone through a very wide range of emotions now. The greatest insult, no ending. If anyone, they took out the outro. Yeah, I mean, if anyone does, if you do find something different, I mean, I don't waste a lot of your time researching it. But if you do somehow find out that there is an ending, like if that I did something wrong, that I have to beat it first try from the last fight screen or some crazy thing like that, I mean, I might look it up. I might look into it. But if you happen to find something wild like that out, did you go ahead and share in the Discord? I'd welcome it. Because we're done. Otherwise we're done. Because I mean, we did it. We beat it. We saw all the dolphins came out. They cut out the outro. That's what I'm gonna say. What an awful game. Yeah, it is a multi-pack. So yeah, it would be expected that it would do it, even if it weren't the inherent awfulness of Ecco. All right, we're gonna raid out, my friends. Tomorrow night, Commodore 64. You beat Ecco the Dolphin. I did. We beat it again. As anticlimactic as the ending was. Well done. Thank you, Itty. Thank you, Itty. Thank you for that. Thank you for being here. And Conga, thank you for being here with me for the victory. Thank you for sticking with me, my friends, through so many dark times. Thank you, everybody. Boy, what a nightmare of a game. Thank goodness we're done with it. I'm not going to add anything new to the schedule to replace it, because we got a lot of stuff I'm still working on. But having this out of the way is a huge relief. We're just going to keep plugging away at the games we've been doing over the next, couple weeks. Tears of the Kingdom, Wario Land 3, Contra Advance, Mario's Missing, a little bit more Aladdin. When I've got the schedule down to one or two games, we'll think about kicking something, adding something else onto the schedule once we've kicked off everything but 2 games. But tomorrow night, Commodore 64, gonna play a variety of games. I think I've got them all here in the schedule. And Contra Advance on Friday. I'm gonna do my best to beat Contra Advance, like I've been doing. I've been working on it with kind of like Ecco, not being successful, working on it for a while now. We're going to make a few attempts at that, and then at some point in the night, we're going to play at least Contra 1 and Super C on the NES. If not some of the one or both of the 16-bit Contras as well. But after living with that game for so long, I really want to go back to the Contras I love and at least do a playthrough there. I'm going to send us in the direction of Vintage RPG. Vintage is playing Dragon Age. I think she's been working on this one for a while. It is still tagged first playthrough, though, so I'm not really sure. I'm sure she'll fill you in on exactly what's up. Vintage has a really fun stream, though. It's really, really chill, comfy, cozy, positive vibes over there. A little mature language, not super strictly family friendly, but nothing super outrageous. So I think it'll make a good place to relax and unwind after such a stressful night. But thank you for being here, my friends. As always, very greatly appreciate you. Be well until we meet again. I hope that time comes very soon for either maybe C64 tomorrow or Contra on Friday. Both streams aiming to start up around 11 p.m. Central Time, give or take. But yeah, that's it, my friends. We are all out of things to do for tonight. It is time to head out. Let's go on an adventure.